Hello guys, and welcome back to Power and Revolution 2019 with our China playthrough here. The last episode went about the same as the others. We are continuing our work with denationalization here. As you can see, our growth has gone up and our unemployment's going down by a good amount. Inflation's still going down, thankfully. We might have to actually increase unemployment here soon in order to keep fueling the growth we are getting, but we'll get into that when we get into that. A lot of this growth is coming from the building, I'll show you here, of oil facilities, oil wells, filling up these regions and around. There's still a lot more into construction. These gas wells are about to finish. And then I have more and more building in the area. None here. I have this region, and this region. All three of these building as many oil wells and gas wells as they can on land, as I try to get China into being not only self-sufficient, but an exporter in the oil and gas markets, because these are pretty integral resources, and if you control them, that gives you a form of power. We also went ahead and built a pipeline leading into North Korea from one of our default oil wells here. There might have been a closer one to put, but this one has a pretty damn good production of oil. You can select it here. Much better than anything else we have, because it's one of those start of game ones that just has an advantage over others. I'm going to unpause here. And the reason for this is just because North Korea doesn't make any of their own oil, and if I can just pipeline it to them, they might just buy my prices, and that'd be nice. I wanted to do more of that, but it was like, the prices weren't exactly worth it. Japan has discovered the optic computer, and they have made it to the public domain. That happens a lot. We win the World Swimming Championship, all right. Security services operational and competent. Okay, that's good. What was that? Okay, that was my denationalization or my nationalization.
After privatizing this
privatizing the telecom operating sector, yeah, bargain concluded. We got an agent and more nationalization. So it sounds like we need to go ahead and start setting up more nationalizing and denationalizing of things. Let's try that, starting with air transportation here. Let's set that to minority shareholder instead of fully under control of the state. How's that sector doing? It's doing all right. We got under that attraction parks. That's doing about the same. Or the production percentage-wise has gone up anyway. And sales have gone up. We're going to try to get that to state involvement. That's really cheap. Get that going. Just a couple more of those on their way. We also have set up another meeting with the total jihad in the United States because I kept messing up the funds, but this time I actually tested it while off camera and found that even if I max out the amount of money, it is just in the millions. It's not like a misleading amount of money or anything. The jihadists, the terrorists, you could just give them a really small amount of money for whatever reason. So I'm just going to give them all the money I can. I'm sure Total Jihad wouldn't like me if they took control of the United States. Here they are. They would not like me if they took control of the United States.
How
Look,
much?
100,000 million. It's fine. Just give them all of it.
Big thank you.
Yeah. And then just give them this stuff again.
Right.
They wouldn't like me even if they took control of the United States. That's fine. Even if I somehow managed to make them start a civil war, I don't need them to like me because I don't even expect them to win, and I'm not going to fund them forever. The more I can just destabilize the U.S., the better. If there is a terrorist organization that I can find in there, the better. These guys might actually start liking me, realistically. I can't see their leader from here. Maybe if I cheat. No, not if I cheat. Here, it doesn't show if he likes me, but the more I contribute to them, I imagine they would start to like me more. I don't actually know. But maybe if we support them, they might start liking us. Otherwise, we might find other terrorists who do like us. And if so, if we could get someone that likes to take over the United States from the inside, that would be great. That would be our biggest threat gone. Our next biggest threat would probably be like Russia, but Russia is our ally. But they could still be an opponent. They're not just completely off the hook just because they're our ally. Here I found one of our preset space programs here, construction of a space station, which actually has the default budget that the game allows. Even though that's 78.6 billion, it's the default budget, and the estimated risk of failure is pretty high. Not to mention, we still need to do a space program for this. I'm actually going to increase funding to this, I think, at least by a little bit for right now. So let's do like 1.3 billion. And yep, set that up to just increase the chance of it for now. We got a whole lot of pop-ups. We are waiting for a response on this other one that we're setting up. Let's see. So the US wants me to pay them for them to take part in my space probe with exploration robot return of samples to Earth from the moon. The European Space Agency will pay me 54.6 million to take part, and Russia will pay me 240 million. So these deals are getting better. I'm starting to get better and better offers. I will take the offer from Russia. I will accept that, and then we'll let it go through to another round and see if anyone else wants to take part. European Space Agency is starting to look better at me, which is nice. How's this going? Technological research. We do not have a... Yeah, it's just updating me on technologies for these space programs.
Our sportsmen are ready.
Encourage the Judo Championship Messenger. Family values loves me.
After privatizing this sector.
We privatize air transportation, so that's already done with. That's how much time has passed without much really going on, so that's interesting. Banks. This is always an interesting one, but yeah, we're going to go ahead and we're going to state involvement, the banks, and let's go ahead also courier transportation and minority shareholder that. These are such tiny service sectors. They don't really have much of an effect. And there's our new partner for the moon probe stuff. How many more days until this is done? Literally, these gas wells finished today. So let's take a look, and they are done. And then nationalization done. Government waste, yeah. My ministers picking fights with each other. Unemployment holding, inflation kind of holding, growth staying around where it is. It's about to go up again because, as you see, we do now have some production of gas. It's not a crazy amount, but we do have some production of it now. Looks like none of it's bugged out or anything either. Yep.
The competition will...
Some sort of world judo competition. We go into here. Yeah, Russia set up another space program. I applied as per usual, but I don't expect anything too great. Let's take a look at natural gas, and this doesn't look like it has updated necessarily. Our production percentage worldwide and all that jazz looks about the same. I don't know how long it takes to update, but theoretically we should be producing more. So I'm going to go ahead and increase the funding for the space program by another 10 billion because that flimsy amount was not enough to change the result very much. We have electric versus gasoline, encourage development of electric cars, progressively raising tax on petroleum products, but I don't really care. Taxes are good and all, but I don't really care. I did notice this interesting trend. Our growth is still ticking back down a little, and unemployment's actually headed back up. This is a good trend because it means we can continue to expand without reason. These gas wells don't seem to have affected the economy very much, not nearly as much as the oil well. So the oil well increased my growth by a whole 0.5%, maybe a little more than that even. Anything special in the paper? No, not exactly. Which means there's no harm in continuing to make things. Let's take a look at some gas wells, see if we can build any in Beijing. We can. All right, let's get this. Can we get this further into the back? Yeah, just surround the Great Wall of China with fucking gas wells and shit. All right, so there's one gas well. We want to get another. There's two gas wells. Here comes a third gas well. I get what they're doing with the analyzing shit, but I really just wish that they didn't, you know? I really just wish they skipped ahead. A fourth gas well and a... right here. Fifth gas well. Let's take the oil wells and see what we have. Average, that's about what we need. Let's go right here and one oil. Two oil, three oil, four oil, and five oil. continue our production of oil and gas. This will include the province of Beijing to Tianjin, Hebei, and Liaoning, Lion King. Let's just call this province Lion King for simplicity's sake. In my expansion of the energy sector. By this point, I feel like I will definitely be an oil exporter. I took a look and found that the price of an oil barrel in OPEC is actually going up, which either means the value price of the dollar's changing, or they're trying to get more money from it over time, which isn't a big deal because OPEC oil is really cheap. Really, really cheap.
One of my men
We've infiltrated the Chinese mafia. That took a while. Another nationalization went through. But by the end of all this expansion, I do think we will be very self-sufficient in oil and gas. I want to see if gas updated. Did it update? You know, if it did, I can't really tell. Okay, yes, our production definitely has gone up. Our consumption has gone up as well, but I definitely got our production up. Gas, I may not be able to make myself completely dependent. No, self-sufficient on. But oil, it's definitely possible. And another nationalization change. All right, let's get back into all the nationalization changes. Fast food. All right, let's get state involvement in that. Internet services. Down to... Oh, that's a lot. I'll let that be for right now. Lottery. And, all right, yeah, let's get state involvement in that. Jesus Christ, did you see how much internet services was worth? That's insane. But I guess it makes sense. Yeah, growth's still ticking down, unemployment ticking up, so this is good. So I'm set to keep expanding. We do have some short times. These will finish soon. This has a little bit longer to finish, but I do like the path we're taking. Our counterintelligence caught a Japanese spy network and eliminated them. That's really awesome. I haven't really touched my funding here very much, mainly because my money had been an issue up till that point. But I think I'm going to... Oh, Jesus. I regret those words already. I'm going to tick upwards cryptography and counterintelligence 1 star each to improve our chances there. This risk is down to 8%. All right, this funding increase is going pretty nicely. I can afford a little bit more to make sure it's... very successful at the very least. Let's try another 5 billion into this construction of a space station. And this requires a space habitation module, which we are doing. We're preparing for it. It takes place in 2021. I don't know how many times we've done it, maybe just once, but we'll see how that goes.
A week from the beginning of the
basketball tournament's going to be happening. Reinforcing cybersecurity for the national infrastructure. Yes, I got my protection level to gold. That's awesome. We're the best in terms of levels of protection. So that's really awesome. Campaign presidential elections in Taiwan. You know what would be really cool? If I could infiltrate the elections of Taiwan and get someone elected that wanted to be a part of China rather than... You know, like I could get them to join me, but this game is unfortunately not that in-depth. Surprising, considering it's a geopolitical simulator. And of course, Russia has refused me in their space program. Speaking of, let's check this. We actually have a proposal from Iran. It's really, really tiny. I'll go ahead and accept it anyway, because they're one of our good allies, I guess. Better friends anyway. This will make them like us even more. See if anyone else wants to apply. They're contributing such a tiny amount to it, though. What did we actually get with them? I don't think we got we didn't get like a full alliance. We might be able... Well, that depends how the guy feels about me. I found it's very much about what the guy feels about you as well, and he doesn't like me a crazy amount. Syria! Disaster in Syria. Okay. I think I could afford to be friends with Syria. Oh, wow, the Kurds like me, and I like the Kurds? That's kind of surprising. But Syria could be a good friend. I believe Russia has some good alignment with them. Russia has a presence in them. What is the military situation here? I think these are Syrian tanks. There's Kurds everywhere that they're constantly fighting with. Total jihad is probably almost on its way to being eliminated here. But there's constant fighting in Syria. I could highlight it, but while I'm playing China. It's just like my attention is better spent elsewhere. What the hell was that? Yeah, see, there's a base was discovered. Missile launchers came out, immediately shot at it. Fighting's just always happening over here. It's crazy. The Russians do a lot of it. I will send, I think, some emergency aid here. Let's go to the tune of just 10 million at the start. We can get Syria to like us. We can get some deals with Syria, I think. At the very least, you know. No one's really going to declare war on them, and we're not going to get called in through an alliance to help them defend themselves from like the Kurds and total jihad. Plus, them and Russia, I think, have that handled. Damn, look at how much the Kurds hold. It's crazy. You know, I wonder what someone suggested that I play as the Kurds, as the Iraqi Kurds even. I don't know if you can even play as the Iraqi Kurds, but if you can, I wonder what it would be like, because they're legally here, you know? They're not fighting. They're not in open conflict with the Iraqi government. So I wonder what it's like to play them, because you own territory, but you're not a country. I wonder what that's like. All right, I just got a whole bunch of stuff here. For some reason, there's an international organization mad at me, probably because I'm slightly nationalizing stuff. I don't know why else anyone would be upset at me. There wasn't any news or anything that I could see. Famine, great. Yeah, nothing to do with me, I don't think. Just some nationalizations going through, which is par for the course. We're going to go back into services and continue the trend. You see we're making some pretty good progress on it. Naval transportation, let's denationalize a little bit here. And numeric networks and infrastructures, buy in. Oh, that's expensive. Let's not do that yet. I'll do it later. Denationalize the postal service. All right, yeah, that seems like a good one. So far, so good. We're maintaining our money stocks. We are approaching the end of a quarter here, as you can see. We do still have a budget excess of $1.5 trillion. So that should eat pretty nicely into our debt. And our debt reimbursement is 3.7% of our budget, so that will help a little bit with that. The national holidays coming up naturally set something like that up. Let's take a look over here. How are you guys doing? Last thing you did is an attack. You have your budget. I don't know how much money I'd realistically have to throw at these guys before they just suddenly turn into a force to be reckoned with, for example. Technically, I could just meet with them as often as I could, and maybe when they have enough money, they'll just fully go into like open arms warfare against the United States. I don't know. I feel like that wouldn't go very well, but I do want to see it. And I plan on having more than enough money to throw it around on completely wasteful things and get away with it anyway. Oh, well, apparently I've been excluded from the World Trade Organization. I didn't realize that. It's probably because I'm denationalizing stuff. So that explains that. I did it as Brazil, and it happened. And I thought, according to someone's comment, that the reason for it was because I was subsidizing stuff. But now I guess it's just because of nationalizing things, I guess. And so I've been excluded from it, which is unfortunate. But honestly, fuck them. You know what all that means? All that really means is that if I really wanted to, I could just like go to, you know, oil when I start exporting it, and I could just start setting custom duties, tax paid on imported merchandise as it crosses the border. Some free trade organizations condemn it. I believe, now this wouldn't make sense to do on oil. This would make sense on other things that we're importing that, well, so long as we are importing oil, it would matter. But the whole point of it is to, I believe, encourage your industry to be more self-sufficient by making stuff coming into the country more expensive. You can't target it at a country, but you can do it as like a whole. Now I could just do this and get away with it. I mean, who's going to care? I got kicked out of the World Trade Organization already. If they're going to kick me out for something so stupid, if I ever need to support a sector's growth, I can always just turn on customs duties and get away with it. Make a little bit of money, you know, maybe a little bit, and encourage the growth of my own economy. So, whatever. Fuck you, World Trade Organization. So I almost feel like this right here is getting closer to completion because the smiley face feels like it's turning greener. That being said, I just got an alert that this right here has gained some estimated risk of failure because of, you know, it's obviously needs this. So we're going to have to move this a little ahead into the future. I'm going to put it forward like 4 months to the 10th month of 2022 to give it more time.
The decree
Nationalization going through.
After privatizing.
Yeah. I think our electricity stuff may have gotten through. I think those turbines I was making probably finished. Let's take a look. Yep, they have finished. They have a decent looking capacity at the very least. Let's take a look at the energy sector. The surplus actually now reads as being better. Electricity itself was already in a surplus, but it looks like our consumption's gone down. What the hell? I don't know. So these things are so... They disagree with each other. Our consumption is still small. As you see, our production has gone up from just those two alone. That is for sure. I still don't understand why this screen looks the way it does, but that is good. It seems that it has gone well. I'm going to pay more attention to this number here than any other number, just for now. And let's go ahead and actually build another onshore wind or something. Let's see. Set that up right here, and another onshore wind to go with it, which can go right there. Perfect. And we got some, World Championship. World Trade Organization excludes China. United States head of state said to feel neither regrets nor remorse considering Chinese presence was no longer manageable. What the hell does the United States head of state have anything to do with that?
The decree takes
I don't know, that's weird. But this nationalization's gone through. Most of what we're doing this episode is taking care of our nationalization bit by bit. And again, you do have to do it like step by step. It's unfortunate, but it's too much to do all at once. It would just completely break an economy down. Oh man. All right, let's do publishing. This is a big one. And railway transportation. There you go. As you see, our excess percentage prediction here is definitely changing. Over here, it still looks pretty good. We'll see at the end of the quarter, which is literally in like a day here. Anything special here? Venezuela eliminates Venezuela in quarterfinals. Nice. I love that. I love when that happens. That makes so much sense. Taking a look at the conflicts of the world while we wait for that tick into the next quarter. Libya's a hellhole. Mali's a little bit of a hellhole. Nigeria's a little bit of a hellhole. Terrorists everywhere. We got a $435 billion cash surplus at the end of it. Really, that's it. I feel like this lied to me then. Maybe this was more accurate. I don't know. But we do. Oh, wait, no, that's yearly. I'm dumb head. This is yearly, and then this is quarterly. So we got another $435 billion cash surplus, which is awesome. That's going to eat away into our debt even more. This is our debt going down. Go to the actual debt screen, and you can see it's gone way down. Percentage of GDP is basically halved. What's it down to now? Yeah, it started at 50.06, and our GDP's only been growing, so through a mixture of GDP growth and the actual reduction of the debt, it's looking nicer and nicer. And I haven't had to increase any taxes or anything anytime soon. Taking care of ecology, which I really haven't been doing. Our space research is calling on me to take a look at it. We do have a proposal from Brazil. All right, I guess I'll accept it. Sure, why not? That's fine. Awesome. And let's take a look also at this one more time. It still needs a little bit more. Usually I double the budget, but I'm trying to get away without doubling the budget here because of how expensive it already is. So let's do another $5 billion thrown in there, and that should raise it to a little over $100 billion. But it should help it. And
whether it's personal problems or overwork, something's wrong. But I can't manage.
The Minister of Trade, Jihai, is worried. Which minister? Was his name Jihai, or is that your name? Jiang? Wang? Jiang? I don't see a Jihai. I don't know who you're talking about. So maybe it's this guy, Jihai Cao? So I guess I'll have a meeting with him. I don't know who he is or what he did, but they brought him to my attention, and I don't see that there's anyone else named Jihai. There's a Jiang. That's a first name. Another one, Junzi, Jiai, Jiang, Genwi, And yeah, so meh. Growth gone down a little bit. Our economy, I can't stress this enough, and I can't get over saying it. It's amazing. Our economy is doing great. I absolutely love it. Let's take a look at our missiles here. We have set to go up to 250. You know what? Just double that and go up to 500. Just keep making these fucking weapons. 500 nukes. When I get that, I do wonder, where will we be in terms of nukes? Security. Let's go to nuclear warheads. We've already made 9 nukes since the start. No one else has made any. By the end of our Brazil playthrough, there were so many countries with nukes, it was insane. By the time we get to 500, we would be past France, but still well behind Russia and the United States. Well behind them. Change of player. GI's become unbearable and useless. Well, I'm meeting with him now, so...
Sure.
Coffee, champagne... Toe the line.
Of course.
Cheer him up.
Fine, thanks.
End meeting. Alright, so I hope that takes care of that. Okay, I see who it was. It was this guy, Jihai Jiang. It was because of leaving the World Trade Organization. He got all out of whack, but he seems to be back in it now. So that's good, at least. What do we have? Belarus is proposing. Belarus wants to offer me more money to take part in this than any of these other countries have. So, all right, I'll let them on. That's always good. I'll get as many people involved as I can because it will just increase
Our agent's
stuff.
assistant.
Oh yeah, definitely infiltrate. Oh my god, dude, I think I left that guy infiltrated for over a month. Yeah, it's been a little over a month, like a month and 3 days. So hopefully he can completely get rid of the rest of the Chinese mafia now. There's still a lot of them though. There's a lot of them. I can hope for the best. May not go that way. Look at all this trade, man. Where is all of our trade going? Wow, this is leaving China and going into China. This is just like through country trade. Where's this going? What is this little ports? So there's ships leaving this area and then going over here. That's interesting. I guess that's just transport through the country at work. I should improve our transportation network. It might help things. Mainly the economy. That's the main point of doing it. But it is cool to see, like, the planes do the same thing, and then you can't see the cars, but you can see trains do it. We got more agents, nationalizations going through, publishing sector. Perfect. It's just going according to plan. Nothing, no big riots or anything. So let's go to road transportation and get that going. Ooh, that's a big one, but let's go for it. Road transportation. What was services? What did that look like? That's expensive. We're going to get out of services now after doing that one. Quarterly unemployment figure, 4%, looking stagnant.
Here is our growth forecast.
Good annual growth.
Package has been delivered.
Hey, those helicopters we ordered arrived. That's good. That's good, and it didn't crash our economy or anything. We are about to finish these oil platforms. I am curious to see how this affects things. So I just got that space program that had some risk down to 0%. I'm going to go ahead and nationalize completely control over the drone sector so we can get it up and running. I am trying to throw some workforce into diamonds because I don't know if we actually have access to diamonds, but if we do, we want to get it going. If we don't, then we'll just leave it nationalized, test it every time we take over a new country, essentially, see how it goes. So we won another cultural prize.
The decree takes effect as of
The
today.
education board asked for more funding and more nationalizations going through. So we're going to come back over here to industry, aeronautical construction. We're going to lower to state involvement. Looks like it's a small enough sector. Economy's holding fine. Let's see if this is finished. It has. And it looks like we are producing a decent amount here. That's really, really nice. I do wonder if there is any oil closer to the border of North Korea. Not that I would use it, because their usage of it will likely exceed its what it can provide anyway. Lack of spaces in the secondary school system. The secondary. I thought I already started expanding that. Maybe I'm wrong. But I thought I already started expanding that. Alright, so we just failed at completely taking down the Chinese mafia, but damn did we neuter them. We more than halved what they had. So let's go ahead over here to this, and I guess we need to fix this up some more. I did build some, but I didn't build a lot. So what did I build last time? Not a lot, just like 70, 80, like 80-ish, 87 new schools. Let's distribute over the full territory 500 more secondary schools, which I guess, what is this? Is this a high school? I forget. It's something weird. And that will cost 7.2 bill. Let's go ahead and get that going so people have access to education. We should see this oil stuff reflected in our growth sometime in the next video. It should be pretty significant. The gas finished at the same time because I started setting these up at the same time. So that's good. I do wonder if it's reflected over here yet. So let's take a look. If it has, I'm not so sure. Damn, our trade balance, despite our increased production percentage-wise, our trade balance doesn't actually look like it's increased a crazy amount, but it should get better over time. That being said, we do have a full episode here, so thank you guys very much for watching. Been a nice, productive episode, mainly working on economics this episode. I'm going to see the effect of all the oil stuff being finished and then figure out from there about making even more and then maybe also expanding the military. It's a little time-consuming, but it's just these steps on the grand path to what we need to become self-sufficient and really be able to go after things without risking a bunch of trade sanctions and things like that. But I will see you guys on the next one. Bye-bye.